Welcome everybody to 90 Day Fiancé Fridays on a Sunday. The question I was going to ask you, George, was so how many did you do a lot of live tweeting or a little bit of live tweeting?
Um, Compared to my usual, just a little.
Hmm.
I definitely tweet more, um, than I did tonight.
And then did you have an easy time getting through the episode or an uneasy time?
I mean, I sat through it. I didn't pause it or anything.
I will say, and I can't really explain the phenomenon, but like tonight I was able to, for the most part, kind of like get through it without much headache. But for whatever reason, like last week, for some reason, it took me like hours and hours and hours. But this week, I kind of was able to focus enough and breeze through it for the most part. So I don't know if that's like the episode was good or if it's a me thing or what. But
I don't want to say the episode was good. I wouldn't go that. I mean, I don't usually pause it or whatever. I just sit through it and I was able
Mhm,
to no one called me or anything. That also helps. Sometimes people will call me and interrupt me and I have to pause it. So
mhm.
I got through it. I didn't produce a lot of tweets, but I did get some comedy out of it. Like Darcy was trying to move in with her dad, and he was like, "Oh no, Gargoyle, you ain't moving into my house." Like I did get some funny tweets out of it, but yeah, for the most part, it was not a Tom Cruise episode by the least.
True. Well, yeah. Let me go look at my tweets because I think I had some funny ones. Because I always like to look at my tweets when we do like the recaps. So the first tweet I did was about Yara and how it's like the same old storyline where she was like, that was the way I was fucking born. And then my tweet was like, poor Yara, she wasn't born a model. Wah.
Yeah, we entered episode 3, I think, of the same story of the same little comment fight. And it's dragged on for 3 episodes, and I think it's really getting old. And I'm not coming for her being insecure
Hmm.
because everybody has their insecurities. I'm not coming for her for that, but I do think that they're milking this to the point where it's getting redundant. Like
Yeah.
it's they talked about it in the hotel room. They talked about it in the hot tub. Then they talked about it again, and I was like, okay, this is getting out of hand. If
Yeah.
if it
Yeah, like that's redundant, but then at the end of the episode where they stirred up another fight with like Libby said so and so or like or whoever. It's like the same old bullshit fight. Everything seems redundant.
I think between the six of them, if this is the best that they could do, I really don't understand why they continued filming with them. Because there was a scene tonight with Lauren, Libby, and Yara shopping for candles, I think. And then there was like a sledding scene with the guys, and literally nothing happened in any of
Mhm.
these. Like I don't even know what we're watching at this point. Because I was like, why would I want to watch Yara shop for candles? Like, what possesses someone to think that that's something that people want to do? Like, why is this even being filmed at this point?
Yeah, yeah, we already said this, like, I don't know if it was last Sunday or last Friday, but we basically said like the cast kind of fleeced them because like they got their free vacation and like the content was boring as fuck.
Well, yeah, they got a free trip, kind of like the Hunt for Love extras.
Hmm.
He got a free trip. That's all that, and that's literally all that you're gonna get out of it. Nothing else is gonna happen.
Yeah, and it's like we don't care that like I don't even remember what that it was like the preview for the next episode, but it was like I can't even remember. Like that's how like mindless and stupid and redundant and repetitive it is. It was like I can't remember if now Libby said something or now Lauren's all upset or whatever. Yeah, or whatever. I can't even like I didn't even like retain it because it just was like the same old bullshit.
Well, what I noticed is there's like a bus. You know how they have NASCAR and it drives around in like a circle, or
Hmm.
it's not a circle, but that shape, whatever the lap. And the bus is driving continuously, and then each girl throws one as the bus drives by. Each girl throws another one, the girl underneath the bus. It's kind of
Hmm.
like what their storyline is. So it starts out with, I think. somebody threw somebody under the bus at Yara's puppy event. And then I think Libby threw Lauren under the bus at the next event. And now Lauren is throwing Libby under the bus. And then Yara's going to throw Lauren under.
Oh, yeah. I think Lauren is gonna throw Libby under the bus toward Yara, like to upset Yara.
Yeah, it's just the three of them going back and forth, throwing each other under the bus. That's kind of what the storyline has pertained, like all the whole season. It
Hmm.
really hasn't been anything else, and it's funny because they all keep calling each other their best friends. And I was like, I have best friends, and I don't throw them underneath the moving bus at every opportunity given, like y'all do. So I don't think y'all are really friends.
So yeah, that's how like forgettable it was because I already forgot like what the preview was, where it was an attempt to upset Yara, so we get a reaction out of Yara. But I already forgot about it. That's how dumb it was. So let's go to the next tweet I did, if that's okay. I mean, I'm jumping into. Well, do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about like Darcy or Jasmine first?
Oh, I mean, we can talk about Darcy first because
Mhm.
she's trying to move back in with her dad at 15
True.
years old, which I think is insanity. Um,
The only thing I tweeted was I basically when Aniko and it popped up, I was like, I posted the photo and I was like, where do I know Aniko from again? Oh yeah. Well, I said Phonely Owens, but I meant OnlyFans.
yeah, I thought it was funny when she came up on the screen. It reminded me of
Mm.
that situation.
Like like you know what I was like thinking in my head. I was like, it'd be hilarious because again, like they don't. No one really on this like season has much of a storyline. I was like, it'd be a actual would be a good storyline instead of whatever their fashion week bullshit or whatever the fuck they're gonna do. A good actual real storyline would be like when that shit happened based on our podcast. Um, and then Aniko was having a meltdown. That was, oh my god, like it leaked out that I have an OnlyFans and blah blah blah. Like if that was filmed for the show, that would actually be interesting.
Yeah, they won't though, but it would be interesting. They're going to pretend like it never happened.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah, because I guess the way it's not really they don't want to like highlight that kind of activity on the family friendly show.
Well, actually, I don't think, yeah, you're right. I don't think they've ever acknowledged OnlyFans on the show. You're
Yeah,
right.
they barely are they're barely even acknowledging like bloggers on the tell all for once. So yeah, they
You're
probably
right. You're right. And it would, like you said, it would be a good scene to
mhm,
watch, that unfold because it was like this huge deal. Uh,
yeah.
yeah, when she popped up on the screen, that's it's so weird. It's all I could think about was that situation, and
Mhm,
that sucks because she's done other stuff. But it was just funny when I saw her because I hadn't seen her on TV in a long time, so it was just kind of funny. I was like, oh my god, I remember when we talked about that and it blew up, and she started like saying she was gonna sue everyone and everything. Like
mhm.
it was crazy.
Yeah, I mean the part that annoys me too was like for during the time she like took it down and then like a month or two later she like put her OnlyFans page back up. So I was like, yo, see, I was like, this is some bullshit. The whole time you were like coming at our necks, but then now you put your page back up. Like, come on.
Well, yeah, that was weird to me that she put it back up. But I guess a lot of people are saying that Georgie is the first one to out the family as not being as rich as they say they are,
Hmm.
because I think that they've been selling this fairy tale that they're all rich and the dad is a millionaire and anything that the girls want he buys them. And I was like, well, that were true, your granddaughter wouldn't be selling coochie pics, like, so that's not true. So I think that Georgie is finally like, you know what, I'm just going to tell people what's really going on with this family. And I think that he's finally telling the truth about what's
Hmm.
happening. And it was funny because when she was like, oh, I was going to put all my shit in storage and move back in with you. And I was like, that's not what a rich person would say. Like, that's
Hmm.
not what rich people do. Rich people don't move back in with their parents. Their parents buys them a condo in Miami and they live in the condo. So I was like, yeah, I think it's coming out now. They really ain't got no money.
Oh, and then I think somebody in my Twitter said like the dad works out at like Planet Fitness, so he probably doesn't have that much money either.
Wait, what? Wait, elaborate on that. He works out of Planet Fitness. How? How is
I
that?
mean, he works out at Planet Fitness.
Oh, I thought you meant like he brought his laptop to Planet. Okay, so yeah, you're right. I think Gold's Gym is where
Mhm.
people with money go. and Planet Fitness is where people who think they have money go. Isn't that how it goes? I think because that's where Jasmine met Matt. He was at a
Yeah, Jasmine and Matt, and then like S. Scott goes to Planet Fitness. So
yes,
uh,
that's not where millionaires work
that's
out.
not like Equinox.
Oh, I've never even heard of that, so that must be nice.
Yeah, that's like high end shit. Like
Yeah,
that.
I haven't even heard of that. It sounds high end, like it sounds like an SUV. So yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds expensive.
yeah,
So
yeah. Like it's legit.
I do know that the dad used to have a lot of money though.
Hmm.
I remember that. I followed their storyline and long enough to remember when we looked into his job and stuff, and he was really was successful back in
Hmm.
the day. Oh, and then
True.
we found out also that he has cancer,
Oh
which
yeah.
is really terrible. I didn't know that, and I feel terrible to hear that because at the end of the day, Darcy and Stacy and Aspen and Aniko and Florian and Georgie, how would they survive without his income? Like he's
Hmm.
literally funded every single person. So like I hope he's okay because at the end of the day, he's the only one keeping these people out of the homeless shelter. So hope he's all right.
Yeah, I wish him his health well. I didn't know that information about him.
Yeah, that's scary. That's scary. It's horrible. And I know that they lost a brother. Darcy and Stacey also lost a brother, I believe, years ago. I think he had passed away from HIV, if I'm not mistaken. So their family has suffered a lot of loss. So that would be awful,
Hmm.
especially financially for the sisters. They depend on him for a lot. So that would be horrible.
True. Yeah. I mean, that's probably why he's like, if you're going through a health issue or whatever, you don't want to be like CC'd on bullshit fucking texts about your daughter's finances with her husband. Like, that's the last thing you want to be annoyed
Well,
about.
right. Like he's going through, and then they said that he had went through several surgeries. And
Hmm.
it kind of bothered me. I was like, and you're texting him about your rent. He's fighting for his life.
Hmm.
You're like texting, like that's crazy. It's like the level of disrespect, kind of bothered me because I was like,
Hmm.
let this man have his peace. He's under the knife, he's fighting for his life, and you're out here trying to get him to pay half your rent. Like understand the severity of what's going on and be respectful.
True. By the way, let me do a quick shout out to Ashley, who I like manually sent the Zoom link to, and she popped up. So shout out to Ashley. I'll give out other shout outs to our live listeners, Gigi, but not to be confused with Gigi Dancer, Heather, not Heather Blonde, but the other Heather, Iggy, Marley, who's a George superfan, Lana, who everyone loves, and Nikki. So yeah, shout out to our live listeners.
Shout out, you guys.
Now let's see. Let me read my quick. I had a funny Libby tweet I should have read earlier. Um, Libby did when she was, I guess it was when they're shopping for candles or whatever they're doing. She was talking about having sex with like Andre, and then she says like you can't have sex. I guess she's talking about when you have kids. Like you can't have sex. You just have time to fuck. She said that, and then my caption said, "I don't want to hear about how much the double-chinned woman in a bucket hat gets banged by her caveman husband."
Yeah, I saw that.
There
That
was that one, and oh, and then like at the resort was where they were alluding to like the other cast members could hear them fucking through the walls or something.
Oh, I missed that somehow. Luckily, I didn't
Yeah.
hear that. But yeah, all of that talk was like those people. I don't know. For some reason, I just don't want to hear that. Um,
Hmm.
some cast members, the crude talk is okay, but I don't know when it's coming from Libby and Lauren. For some reason, it's disgusting, and I don't want to hear it. Like
Yeah.
that unwanted sex scene in a movie where you actually look away because it's just that gross. Like
Hmm.
that's how it reminds me of.
Yeah. Like normally I love the messy sex talk and all that shit, whatever. But when it's Libby, for some reason I'm like very off put by it.
Yeah, I was definitely like not information that I needed at all. Also, Matt was under the impression that you could get a divorce and get remarried within a month and a half. Did you see that?
Yeah. What a dumbass, right?
Yeah, I don't know who raised this homewrecking dude, but he's like an idiot. He's like, yeah,
Mhm.
why doesn't she just divorce Gino and then marry me before the baby's born? And the lawyer's looking at him like, you mean the baby that's in her stomach right now? Like,
Mhm.
you know how divorces work, right? Like, that takes a long fucking time. They're like, so how long do you plan on keeping that baby in there? Because that, I don't know. It was just such an idiotic statement. And between him and her, I was trying to count the brain cells, and I didn't get
Yeah.
past one. I did.
Yeah, I mean, it's like he kept lecturing her like, "Hey, you should talk, ask the lawyer about getting a divorce, and blah blah blah. Learn about the what, like try to like angle for the divorce." And then it's like, dude, you're the one that is also misinformed or uninformed this whole time. Like, you should also do research on your own and figure out like, hey, do you have to be separated for a year? How long does a divorce take? You could also look shit up yourself.
Well, yeah, I think Captain tweeted tonight. She was like, Matt has a condo that's being lived in by Gino living in his head. And I think
Mm,
Matt is so fixated on Gino. He's like, oh, this deadbeat Gino, this asshole Gino, this idiot Gino.
mm,
He can't function without the idea. And now I guess if petty Gino could have Matilda have his last name.
mhm,
The baby was conceived inside of their marriage, and in the state of Florida, if a woman gives birth inside of a marriage, meaning the marriage is still active, it's an assumed paternity of the child, meaning that Gino could file paperwork and have Matilda have his last name. And I was like, I don't know if I'm that petty, but
mm,
I do know that that would be like the most diabolical like shit that you could do to someone. So I was like, I don't know if I was in that situation, I might go out of my way to make sure that Matilda had my last name. But you have to be careful though, because I don't know how the child support situation would go.
yeah,
So I was like,
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
oh, Jasmine is greedy, so she'll be like, "Oh, well, it's Gino's baby. It has his last name. He's on the birth certificate, so he owes me child support." So you got to be careful. You can't let your petty,
Yeah.
take you into a place that you can't get out of. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know any other laws of any of that. But
Mhm,
I think also that's a storyline is in itself. I don't think that it was ever a question of Gino was ever going to apply for parental rights or a last name. I think that that was something that production liked. It sounded good, right? So
mhm.
they said, "Oh, you should focus on the idea that Gino could take your baby away." You could focus on that. I don't think that that was ever an issue.
Like I'm still under, and maybe I'm being naive, but I'm still under the guys that like well, let me just read you the tweet. So there was a tweet where there was a caption where Matt was talking, and he says like when Gino filed the paperwork for deportation for Jasmine, and then my tweet said Gino won't even bother filing for divorce to this day. So it seems like a storyline to me. So like the deportation filing to me seems like a storyline. Like I don't know if Gino actually went the full. I know he made the threats, but I don't know if he actually like went all the way.
That's a good question. Like, I don't know. Like, some complaints are formal where you
Hmm.
go in person to make a complaint. Like, I think if you want to complain on a police officer, you have to go to the police station and formally do it in person. Like,
Hmm.
you're right. I think if he couldn't go online and fill out a form, he probably didn't do it. I think you're
Yeah.
100% accurate. I think Gino has never had that much get up and go about him to do anything. Like you said, he never even filed for divorce. So
I mean, it's almost like the way I see it is this is like first of all, yeah, like we know like Gino he quit his job because now he's like a reality TV star, and it's like even though Jasmine fucked him over and obviously Jasmine's like evil, at the same time like the Gino Jasmine combo propelled both of them to being like reality TV stardom. So it's like part of it is like I think why I don't believe that he actually went to try to report her and deport her is because it's like because of her, he's able now to meet all these hot women fans and he's on TV and he's making money. And it's like as much as of a skunk Jasmine is, it's like, well, you're the reason I'm famous. So I'm not gonna ruin the gravy train. The more you're on TV, the more I'm relevant on TV. That's my logic. So
Well, yeah, I think it's gonna shift now because
mm,
Gino's filming something on his own now.
true.
So I think that that dynamic is gonna shift because they're now gonna give him the opportunity to step out on his own. We can you've talked about what he's doing, right? Or have we not?
I mean, I'm like, yeah, yeah. I think I don't know if we talked about it, but I think it's pretty. It's
Yeah,
obvious. Yeah.
I think people know at this point that he's gonna be on the single life. I think people know that, and
Yeah.
so that's kind of gonna be his first opportunity to be a single, not packaged character with Jasmine.
Mhm.
So he's gonna be able to film and get paid on his own without being packaged in with her anymore. So I think that's a huge deal for him.
Mhm.
'Cause each time.
Like okay, I'll give you another insight on like on why I think. that why I have that line of thinking because again I'm a Gino insider, but like for example, like so because let's put it this way, if it was really bitter, and I know they're not besties or anything, but like if it was really bitter between Jasmine and Gino, it would, in my mind, maybe I could be wrong, but like if it was really bitter, I'm talking about like off camera, off shtick, off TV. I'm talking about real life shit. If it was really bitter, like would they still have a lot of like friends in common, for example? So one example of this is Jasmine has this like not the one that was on the show tonight, but she has her own like immigration lawyer, and I think her name is like Kelsey or something. But Jasmine always promotes this like immigration lawyer on social media, and she's friends with her, and it is, I guess, her immigration lawyer. But then like Gino apparently is also friends with this like Kelsey immigration lawyer chick, and like Gino's friends with her and the husband. So it's like they have this friend in common. So Jasmine's immigration lawyer is friends with Gino, and Gino's friends with the husband of the immigration lawyer, and they're all friends with each other. So my point I'm trying to make is like they have friends in common, and it's like if it was really bitter behind the scenes and they really hated each other's guts, like in my mind they wouldn't have like friend in common like that. Because if I really hated like an ex girlfriend, I wouldn't have this like I wouldn't be best friends with her like immigration bestie, like I wouldn't be sharing friends. I would just cut it off. So that's just like a little glimpse of like they do have a lot of friends in common, and like I don't think it's as bitter as like you would think.
No, I think that they're frenemies.
Yeah.
I think that if they needed to go to somewhere together, like an event or something, they'd be cordial.
Hmm.
No one's gonna get arrested, right? I think that they're cordial enough to know that they can, but I also think that, they're frenemies. They don't like each other in that way.
Yeah.
And I think
True.
the romantic part of it is over. But
Yeah.
nobody is gonna need a restraining order. I think that they're smart enough to know that they have to do this together. It's the only way that they can make their money.
Hmm. True. So let me read some of my Jasmine tweets because I had more than one. Well, one of them was kind of funny where yeah, anyway, I don't know, they were eating those like what is it called? Freeze dried like dessert or some shit. And then she's like blowing out like it looked like smoke, but it wasn't smoke. But I basically did a tweet. I said that this is Jasmine's breath after she sucked Gino's toes. So I thought that was funny. Um, let's see, what else did I post? Okay, yeah, and then when she was talking to the lawyer, she went into her whole shtick of like the non-monogamous relationship bullshit, which I'm like, dude, if this is a serious like lawyer consultation, you don't bring up your like last resort horse shit. And then so my caption said, I'm sure ICE cares about your reality TV mumbo jumbo, Jasmine. So I posted that. And then one other tweet I did was when the lawyer says like, we have some tissues if you want to grab one. My caption said, translation, get out of my office, you trollop. Do I look like a crappy last resort therapist to you? So that was my tweets.
Yeah, she thinks that crying is just gonna get her out of everything. So I kind of want her to get in trouble because I want the judge to look at her and not entertain her bullshit. Like I'm kind of interested in that. Oh, and I want to bring up, so Darcy and Georgie are gonna be on the last resort. And I was on TikTok the other day, and
Mhm.
guess who shows up on my lives? Like on that, you're scrolling through. Darcy, Stacy, Georgie, and Aniko. They're all on TikTok live together battling. And I was like, but the rumor that's going around is that Stacy and Florian are no longer together, and Darcy and Georgie are no longer together. They were all on. Well, I can't say Florian was, but Darcy, Stacy, Georgie, and Annika were all on live together. And I was like, well, if those rumors were true, I don't feel like they would be hanging out on live together. And it kind of looked like Georgie was in a hotel lobby.
Mhm.
His background, it looked like he was in a hotel lobby, and which would make sense because if he was at the last resort, if Darcy's in the room, they can't go live separately in the same room. You get that feedback. So it looked like he went downstairs in the hotel to go live, and then she was in the room, in the hotel room.
But if they're a last resort, I thought they don't have their phones or something.
Well, they were most definitely on TikTok Live. It was like probably after midnight.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they were most definitely on TikTok Live, and I know for a fact that they are on the last resort. So
So, well, like I'm just like spitballing, but like, could they have already finished the filming, or is that like a longer period?
It's 3 weeks.
Hmm.
I don't know specifically when it started because remember I told you I found out a week after they had started filming.
Yeah, so maybe they finished and they were like, they finally got their phones back. They're excited or something.
Yeah, it could have been over last week, over the week before. I didn't even find out that they were there filming until a week after everybody was already there.
Mhm.
That's how like tight that they kept it. But I think it's funny though because Darcy and Georgie are still doing lives together. So if people are buying into that their divorced storyline, y'all got.
Like it, well, yeah, when you brought it up, it never like rang true to me. So I never bought into it.
No, neither have I. This isn't the first, second, or third time they claim that they were getting divorced or broken up. Like I said, it always corresponds with the next thing that they're doing. Because I
Hmm.
remember, I always bring this up. I was watching Darcy and Stacy, and at the season finale of one season, Darcy broke up with Georgie, kicked him out, and everything. And then episode one of the very next season, they were living together. And I was like, that just shows you that this is all bullshit. Like it literally ended on a cliffhanger of her breaking up with him, saying she didn't want to marry him. Then episode one of the very next season, they were living together, and I was like, they never actually weren't. Like
Hmm.
it's just whatever is corresponding with the storyline.
True. Well, I think we covered everything that happened on this episode that I found is interesting, at least. Oh, and then like, one last thing. Um, it was lame as fuck at the end of the show when like Brandon and Julia they had that like dumb argument, and then the parents stormed out, and then Brandon had like the meltdown. He's like, "Oh my god, I don't want like my parents upset." Like he was all freaking out, like as if his parents will never not support him 24/7. Like that was a dumb meltdown.
Oh yeah, well he was I think in the kitchen on the floor
Hmm.
in
Yeah.
the range, the oven, crying hysterically, saying that he ruined his relationship with his parents. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was definitely a drama fueled breakdown. I think at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what Brandon could do, his parents don't have any other interest other than him. So
Yeah.
they're always going to stick with him. He could be a serial killer and they would visit him every week in jail. Like that, they're just only obsessed with him. He's their only interest. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm kind of over him and Julia too because like we're watching this where she's not even pregnant yet. We know that she's already pregnant. Somebody said that they thought she had the baby or was close to having the baby, but I was looking through her Instagram and it doesn't look like it yet. But I think we're like really close. Like
Hmm.
we're very close to that baby being born. If anyone cares, I don't. But we're getting closer to that. So if anyone is looking around for that, we're gonna find.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll do the thing where like on the official 90-day account, we'll do like a collaboration post, and that's when they'll post it.
Yeah, we're waiting on that. Oh, and one other thing. So on Diaries. So do you remember there was a girl on 90 Day Fiance? Her name was Misha.
Oh
Um,
yeah, the issues with like a Jewish dude
yeah, she
or
was
Israeli dude.
Nicola,
Yeah.
and I think he was Roman Catholic or something along the lines of that. So it turns out she's gonna be on Diaries, and I've actually known this for like months and months and months. Somebody told me, a fan told me actually, Misha's married. Um,
Mhm.
it's not to Nicola, and we're gonna meet the guy on her Diaries episode, and she's actually been married for like months.
Oh,
Like,
it was like a new guy after Nicola.
yeah, yes, and
Okay.
this is a new guy, and we're gonna watch the wedding on Diaries. So, and a lot of people were messaging me like months and months ago saying, "Oh, she's married. Why won't she say she's married?" And I was like, "Well, I don't talk to her, but I'm assuming if she's married and she hasn't told anyone, it's because it's gonna be filmed," and it was.
Hmm. True. Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I don't know if I knew that, but like I have like posted about her on social media, and then she never really like interacts on Instagram. So
Yeah, she's not very interactive on Instagram. She definitely doesn't read blog pages or nothing like that. She does like
like, oh, sorry to interrupt you. I remember I did a meme where, correct me if I'm wrong. Was the meme that I did, was it like Elise looks like Misha or something?
oh yeah,
Like,
maybe it was like that. Yeah, I think yeah, I do remember that.
yeah.
I want to say when you posted it, I was like, holy shit, I didn't realize that they looked that much alike until you brought it to my
Hmm.
attention. Yeah, I do
Okay.
remember that.
Yeah, so I tagged when I did a meme, like a split screen with Elise from Hunt for Love, and I said it looks like Misha from old episode seasons of 90 Day, and then I tagged Misha, but she didn't like interact with it.
Yeah, a lot of people tell me that she disappears off of social media for like weeks at a time. Like I
Mhm.
won't see her, and then because we follow each other, I won't see her for a long time, and then I'll see her on live doing like a Bible study. But
Mhm.
like she'll be online all of a sudden, and then I won't see her for like a month. It's like one of those.
True. Well, I think we hit all the bases. Yeah, I just wanted to do like a whatever 30-minute episode. I'm pretty sure we hit that. So yeah. Oh, well, if you haven't listened to last Friday's episode, I listened to the playback. I thought it was pretty entertaining when we were going through all the drama.
Yeah, I felt like it was a good one. If you haven't listened, check it out. What was I want to say we were talking about? Yeah, yeah, because tomorrow actually I'm really excited. The stripper couple is premiering on the other one.
Mhm.
Patia, and I can't remember the guy's name, but she's a 58-year-old stripper, and then he's a 38-year-old stripper. So, and she's
Mhm.
moving to somewhere in Australia, Tasmania, I don't know, to be with a stripper. So I'm interested in seeing any type of drama that comes from that because this season of The Other Way has been a letdown. So I'm hoping there's some drama that comes from that.
True. All right. Well, I think I'm going to end it. Maybe like next Friday, we'll try to catch up with like Lana and talk to her because I think we did try. Like tonight, I want to cut it. I want to end it, but like I can't remember one time we tried to talk to her, but she was like cooking. I think she was cooking or something. But yeah, maybe next Friday we'll catch up with Lana.
Oh yeah, I think there was last week. Yeah, next Friday we'll catch up and Gina will be back as
Mhm.
well. Hopefully Captain will be back too.
True. So yeah, let's end it. Thank you. I'm gonna do my outro. Thank you, George, and thank you everyone for listening to 90 Day Fiance Fridays on
On a Sunday.
Peace out. We'll see you tomorrow.
He said everybody.